Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe then no, go to fight. Hey, take it easy. Go to pub. I give you candy. Oh, yeah.
Did anything surprise you about Daniel?
No. It's a boxing. Boxing don't have surprise.
Yeah.
Who do you see as the more dangerous opponent, though? Usyk or Dubois?
I believe Usyk. I believe Usyk is a great fighter. Dubois is a changed fighter from his first fight. But then this is why we had the rematch, to see whether Dubois can overcome what he got stopped with a jab. And he did. A lot of people were also questioning the body shot. I think it was a low block.
Anthony Joshua isn't mincing his words. That's a backhand to Dubois, if there ever was one. AJ's basically warning him, skill beats brute force, and Usyk's skill, untouchable. He's seen it firsthand. Remember, this is coming from the man Dubois once shocked, but instead of bitterness, AJ's backing the better man now. That speaks volumes.
Dubois against Alexander Usyk. Realistically, has he got any chance? We've got 30 seconds.
Of course he has. Look, it's a tough ask, of course. You know, the thing with Usyk is he doesn't depend on his power to knock you out. He depends on his skill. That's why it's a tough ask, because he's going to box rings around you if you let him. Dubois, good luck. Don Charles, good luck.
And Joshua's not the only one waving the white flag for Dubois. Duke McKenzie's verdict is even more brutal. Duke McKenzie didn't even try to be polite. He straight up dismissed Dubois like a domestic level slugger out of his depth. Against B-tier fighters? Sure, but in there with Usyk, he's got no chance. Duke sees what we all do. Dubois looks like a lion until someone punches back. Then he turns house cat.
I'm only going to echo what I've said previously. If Daniel Dubois was fighting anybody else, I'd back him to win, 100%. But in Alexander Usyk, because when I watch Usyk fight, and I've studied him, he's a cruiserweight coming up to the heavyweight division.
Carl Froch just laid out the Usyk gospel and buried Dubois underneath it. No hype, no false praise, just facts. Froch sees Dubois for what he is, the odd name on a legendary resume. While Usyk built greatness, Dubois built excuses. One's hunting immortality, the other's begging not to quit again.
Undisputed cruiserweight king. Simple as that, king. It's the only word you can use to describe and define this guy. He's a king of the cruiserweight division. Then he steps up to heavyweight and he reigns havoc. He's beat AJ twice. He's beat Tyson Fury twice. He's already beaten Dubois.
Carl Froch didn't offer strategy. He offered a pre-fight obituary. No matter how Dubois starts, Usyk ends it. Go aggressive, get countered, stay cautious, get dissected. Froch knows Dubois can adapt. He's a one-trick pony with a history of quitting when plan A crumbles. And Usyk, he lives in chaos.
Dubois comes and puts it on him and tries to iron him out. The more Usyk will be able to just maneuver around in semicircles and walk him onto shots. So Dubois can't go mental early doors. He can't just stick it on him and try and render him unconscious. He needs to take his time. But I think the tactics need to be pressure.
Tyson Fury couldn't even fake belief in Dubois. That fake encouragement? Backhanded at best. Just do the best you can? That's what you say to a man walking into slaughter, not someone you think can win. Fury knows that so-called body shot success was a fluke, and Usyk still got up and dominated. He's not backing Dubois, he's pitying him. You can feel the sarcasm leaking through the words. It's almost like he's mocking Dubois without saying it directly. And let's be honest, if the best Daniel can hope for is maybe landing the same punch that failed before, that's not a game plan. That's desperation dressed as hope. Fury's not picking Dubois, he's throwing him to the wolves with a pat on the back. Next up, Adam Smith tries to hype the underdog story, but even he sounds unsure when it comes to Dubois delivering.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times.
Adam Smith tries to sell it as a 50-50th, but deep down, you can hear the doubt choking his voice. Maybe he can hurt him if he believes. That's not analysis, that's wishful thinking. If your entire hope is based on belief in body shots, you've already lost. Dubois believing won't change the fact that he got exposed the first time and had no answers when things got tough. Smith even throws in a line about greatest wins in British history. Why? Because if it did happen, it would be such a miracle, it'd rewrite boxing logic. And let's not ignore the Joshua reference. Dubois may have beaten AJ, but Usyk beat AJ twice. See the gap? Fans aren't buying it. They know this belief angle is all smoke and mirrors. And Usyk, he's built on substance, not slogans. Duke McKenzie returns, and this time, he shuts the door on the new Dubois myth altogether.
Is so good in rematches. I've not seen any decline in Alexander. I thought he got better and better in the Fury second fight, so I expect Usyk to find a way, but Dubois can hurt him. Maybe he can hurt him to the body. And look, if he believes like he did against Joshua and he's tunnel visioned and he believes he won't be denied on July the 19th, you know.
Duke McKenzie just crushed the Dubois redemption arc with one cold statement: Usyk will find a way, period. All this talk about Dubois is better now means nothing when you're up against a fighter who levels up mid-fight. Usyk doesn't fade, he adapts, and Duke knows it. He's calling out the Dubois camp for their wishful thinking, their denial, their blind optimism. It's like they've convinced themselves Usyk is slowing down, when in reality he's sharper than ever. Duke isn't buying the noise, and neither should the fans. Dubois could show up in the best shape of his life, but the man across from him is mentally tougher, more skilled, and twice as experienced. This isn't a fight, it's a survival test, and Daniel doesn't pass those. And now Eddie Hearn chimes in, and let's just say he doesn't believe Dubois has the stomach for this.
I think that what Dubois' team are clearly overlooking is the fact that if Dubois raises his game, then Usyk will raise his game. Usyk isn't shot, he's not over the hill, he's got plenty of miles left on the clock, I believe, and I think if whatever Daniel Dubois brings to this fight, Usyk will still.
Eddie Hearn said it without flinching. Dubois quit, and not only that, he looked for the exit. That's not just criticism, that's character assassination, in boxing terms. Hearn's basically saying Dubois didn't get beat, he gave up, and now we're supposed to believe he's a new man? Please. Eddie's tone reeks of doubt, like he's being diplomatic while low-key writing Dubois off entirely. The real message? Once a quitter, always a question mark. And even if that version of Daniel is gone, the trauma of that breakdown still lingers. Fighters remember who they quit against, and that man was Usyk. This isn't about skills anymore, it's about scars. And Hearn's making it clear Dubois hasn't healed. Not really.
You know, he was very competitive, but he got stopped and you know, he kind of looked for a way out in that fight, and I don't think that Daniel Dubois exists in the same capacity anymore.
Eddie Hearn is doing what promoters do best, leaving the door open for drama. But let's be honest, even as he talks about timing and wear and tear, he still can't commit to picking Dubois. Why? Because deep down, he knows Usyk's not finished, not even close. Yeah, those wars with Fury and AJ were taxing, but Usyk thrives in those moments. He's shown us time and again that when the lights are brightest, his mind sharpens. Meanwhile, what does Dubois do under pressure? He wilts. He looks to the ref. He searches for escape. Usyk isn't just a better boxer, he's mentally carved from stone. Good timing only matters if you have the tools to exploit it, and Dubois has never shown he can outthink or outgrit anyone on Usyk's level. The fact that Eddie calls it very competitive feels more like a PR move than a real prediction. No one's fooled. You could age Usyk 10 more years. He'd still make Dubois look confused in there. And next up, Joseph Parker chimes in, and he doesn't sound optimistic for Dubois either.
I mean, you know, Usyk, who is a generational great, sometimes, you know, those 12-round fights that he had with Fury, even the 12-round fights he had with AJ as well, it takes it out of you, and he's getting on. So it could be good timing, or Usyk might just be too good, but it's a very...
Joseph Parker isn't guessing. He's telling you from experience. He's fought world-class operators and knows exactly what elite looks like. And what he's saying loud and clear is Dubois doesn't belong in the conversation. Usyk doesn't just win fights, he dismantles people bit by bit. Parker's seen the angles, the movement, the suffocating pace. He's watched top-tier heavyweights get turned into helpless statues. Dubois fans cling to the idea that youth and power are enough, but Parker knows better. Against Usyk, your lungs go first, then your legs, then your soul. Daniel has never once shown the ability to handle pressure from someone who fights with rhythm, IQ, and layers. Usyk doesn't just hit, he asks questions. And Dubois, he's failed every tough exam he's been handed. Joseph's tone here is calm, but the message is ruthless. There are levels in this game, and Usyk is on Mount Everest, while Dubois is still finding the foothills. The fact that Parker didn't even attempt to hype Dubois tells you all you need to know. He's not ready for the storm that's coming.
I feel like Usyk will be too much for him in terms of fitness, movement, angles, you know, just the way that he can break someone down. I've seen that in the fights that he's had off the top, while the top heavyweights.
Joe Rogan's stunned admiration for Usyk says it all. The man is a puzzle with gloves. The way Rogan describes Joshua's confusion, where is this guy going to be, exposes exactly why Dubois is in trouble. He's about to face a man who rewrites angles in real time, someone who moves like a middleweight, hits like a sniper, and never stops thinking. And yet Rogan throws Dubois a bone. He's dangerous. Sure, but when is he dangerous? When opponents stand still and trade. Usyk doesn't. Usyk floats, circles, draws traps, then punishes. Coming into his own, Dubois is coming into something, but it ain't greatness. He's walking into a mind maze with a broken compass. Rogan calling Usyk so talented twice isn't lazy, it's emphasis. He's mesmerized. And the truth is, so will Dubois be until he's too exhausted and too mentally broken to throw. Dubois is used to hunting, but this time, he's the one being stalked. And the scariest part, you won't see it coming.
I think Usyk again, it's a tough fight. That Usyk guy is talented. He's so talented. He's so small for a heavyweight too. He's non-stop movement and his footwork and everything. It's so different than anybody else. Joshua didn't know what to do with him. He's like, where is this guy going to be when I'm throwing punches? He's a heavyweight, and the heavyweights were never really that good. Dubois is coming into his own, man. That's what that is. He's only like 27, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's coming into his, that guy's scary.
Lennox Lewis, the heavyweight icon, isn't throwing compliments lightly here. Every word is measured. When he says he's done the work, he's reminding everyone that Usyk didn't stumble into greatness. He built it. Olympic gold, undisputed cruiserweight, undefeated at heavyweight, beating AJ, beating Fury. That's the kind of resume Dubois can only dream about. This isn't belief in potential. This is belief in proven greatness. And when Lennox says he's going to do it, he's not hyping a prediction. He's stating an outcome. What's more revealing is how Dubois is completely absent from this analysis. Not a single mention of his name. Not even a nod. That's how little the boxing legends are considering him a threat. Lennox doesn't see this as a competitive match. He sees it as Usyk overcoming time, not the opponent. That silence speaks louder than any jab. While Dubois fans cling to youth and power, Lennox is backing legacy, experience, and elite ring IQ. He's seen both sides of the sport, and his money's on the man who's already conquered giants, not the one who fell to his own shadow.
Britain. It's not an easy task, but he's definitely the man that can go through with it. He's done the work, he's gone through the pedigree, and he's a certified champion. So, I think he has big hopes on doing it. He's going to do it.
The rematch isn't just about belts, it's about pride, legacy, and redemption, but only one man walks in with all three. Usyk stands on the brink of cementing his place as the greatest modern heavyweight technician of our time. He's already dismantled champions, embarrassed punchers, and left so-called killers doubting themselves in the middle of the ring. And now, Daniel Dubois, the man who quit on a knee and still hasn't silenced the doubters, thinks he's ready for round two? Let's not rewrite history. Dubois had his shot and broke when it mattered most, and this time the pressure is tenfold. The whole world's watching. Will he show up as a new man or collapse again under Usyk's relentless rhythm and footwork? The real question isn't whether Dubois can hurt Usyk, it's whether he can find him. This isn't a brawl, it's a chess match, and Dubois is walking in with checkers. Mentally, emotionally, tactically, he's outgunned. If Usyk wins, he solidifies his era. If Dubois somehow pulls off the upset, it would shake the division to its core. But who really believes that? Who's putting money on a man still haunted by his past? This is more than a rematch. It's a reckoning. So now we ask you, are you backing the slick southpaw genius in Usyk, the man who makes champions look like amateurs? Or are you betting it all on Dubois, the underdog with everything to prove and everything to lose? Drop your predictions below.